So it's Friday afternoon at 12:30 here in Sydney, and my name is Mark Smith, and I'm Group Managing Director of People2People in Australia and the UK, and Frog Recruitment in New Zealand. And for those who have seen me before, you've probably gone, "Wow, is he not wearing a tie? Why is he in a check shirt? Is he from rural New South Wales?" And the answer to those questions are that yes, I'm from rural New South Wales, and later this afternoon I will be going to visit my parents for their 56th wedding anniversary. So a happy anniversary, Mum and Dad. But that's not what we're here for. We're actually here to speak things all employment and jobs throughout Australia here on P2P Live. We can see your comments live on Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn and X. So please pop your comments into or below the screen there, and we'll see them in real time. We've got a jam-packed broadcast today. We've got the stat of the week. Of course, the unemployment numbers came out yesterday, so we'll take a look at those. We've got two hot jobs in Australia. We've got a job in New Zealand, a job in the UK. And speaking of getting jobs, we'll be chatting to Renagi from our Queensland team to discuss their upcoming webinar being run out of the Queensland office, where if you're interested in moving to Queensland, which I know a lot of Australians are, then they're going to run that webinar. So we'll find out more about that. And of course, we got the results of the Twitter poll from last week. Has your employer actually implemented any sustainable practices? So we'll find out more about that result. But first, let's get into this week's stat of the week. Well, it was a surprise to me yesterday that the unemployment rate in Australia tipped 0.1% down to 3.6%, which, given market conditions at People2People, we are experiencing a decline in the number of vacancies that are being listed, and our experience reflects the number of vacancies, for example, that have been listed on 𝐬𝐞 and with the Internet Vacancy Index, numbers that are well down into double figures. Yet the unemployment rate remains persistently low at 3.6%. Now, what's interesting about this result is, and I will read this because this actually came from, I think it was Kate Lamb from the Australian Bureau of Statistics, and she says that and it is important to remember that a fall in unemployment does not always mean much higher levels of employment. Now, what she's really getting at there is that total employment grew by a modest 6,700 jobs, driven by 46,500 lift in part-time employment, but there was a drop in full-time employment by 39,900. And also the participation rate dropped by 0.3%. So a modest growth in total employment, full-time jobs way down, part-time jobs up, and less people in the workforce. So there was a whole bunch of people who were unemployed who then suddenly have left the workforce, which has meant that the net result of all those statistics is that unemployment has dipped slightly lower, but not because of some surge in vacancies, etc., but rather because fewer people are looking for work. So that's really the story out of yesterday's unemployment numbers. On a state-by-state level, jobless rate in New South Wales fell 0.2% to 3.3. In Victoria, steady at 3.3. WA fell by half a percentage point to, guess what, 3.3. And I think that's the only numbers I have for the states there. But overall, the message is also consistent throughout the states, where the participation rate has actually dropped, meaning that the unemployment rate has dropped, not that there's been new jobs created. So an interesting number for last week. What does it mean for interest rates? I don't know. I'm not an economist, but it'll be interesting to see. My guess, and it is a guess, is that they probably will keep them steady, but it is certainly no indication of dropping in interest rates. And I think the risk is to the upside, if it was for me. So that's this week's Stat of the Week. Rightio, a couple of hot jobs in Australia this week. Here's the first one. It's in Sydney. It's customer service rep. 70 to 80,000 for this particular role. Supplier queries, returns, credits, running reports, customer analytics. Got to have strong admin and customer service skills and exceptional communication skills to get this particular opportunity. Aidan Boast is the consultant you need to speak to from our Sydney team. You can give me a call, 02 8270 9705, or you can hit apply now in the comments. You can see a link to the jobs there. Or you can email Aidan. He'll certainly get back to you as well for that particular opportunity. Here's the next one. And it's a senior associate. It's an accounting job in Perth, WA. So you'll be supporting mergers and acquisitions, fundraising for either acquiring debt or securing equity, valuations, expert reports, and due diligence as a senior associate. You'll need to have proven experience in a similar position and ideally have experience in valuations using DCF. If you don't know what DCF is, this is not the job for you. Dean is the consultant that you need to speak to from our Perth team. 08 is her number. Not 08, that's not her number. You're probably not going to get her if you just dial 08. It's 08 6160 6205 is Dean's number. Or Dean at people2people.com.au, or hit apply now in the comments. These are the two hot jobs in Australia this week. Righto, there are skills shortages across the planet, and the UK is no different. And if you're looking for a new opportunity as a store manager in the UK, then you can give Alia Sipos a call from our London team. The job that we've got, though, is in Birmingham in the West Midlands, paying between £46,000 and £50,000 a year. You've got to have previous experience as a store manager and managed a large workforce previously. What your responsibilities are as a store manager, and this is a large retailer, you'll be ensuring the operations are efficient, inventory management, staff scheduling, pricing strategies, handling complaints and quality control. If this is something you're interested in, give Alia Sipos a call in our London team. You can give her a call on +44 for the UK, 02 3824 0975, or alia at people2people.uk, or simply hit apply now in the comments and you can find out more about this particular opportunity. Just one thing for all of the Aussies watching this: if you are between the ages of 19 and 35, you can automatically qualify you can apply for, you don't automatically qualify, you can apply for a youth mobility visa, which you can secure between 3 to 4 weeks from application and can work for 3 years for one particular employer. So opportunities like this store manager role are available to Aussies who are interested in taking this move to the UK. Now, we also have opportunities across the ditch where you don't need a visa in New Zealand. And our partner company, Frog Recruitment, has this opportunity. Let's roll the tape on that one.
Kia ora. Are you an admin superstar trying to progress your career? Do you want to take your next step into the exciting world of property? Here's your chance. I'm working with a commercial facilities company based in Auckland who are looking for a work order coordinator to join their team ASAP. So what do I mean by work order coordinator? You're working across facilities tradespeople to schedule them into various tasks while keeping accurate records of every task. You get to engage with internal and external stakeholders and build relationship with your clients. Run your portfolio like a business within the business. This role comes with excellent career progression opportunities into facilities or property. The team here is very close-knit, with teammates helping each other elevate their skills and grow within the business. If you can handle admin functions, think on your feet, comfortable with computer systems, and have a passion for property, look no further. This opportunity will not stay on the market for very long, so get your hat in the ring now. Contact me on the information below or simply click apply. See you soon.
Now, for those people watching who don't know, I was a resident of Brisbane in the late 90s, and it's one of my favourite cities in Australia. So what we thought we'd do today is talk to Renagi from our Brisbane team, and he's going to talk to us all about securing a job in Brisbane. Renagi, good afternoon. How are things? Well, is it afternoon in Queensland? No, it's not. Is it? It's only 11:30 in Queensland, so it's not really. That's very confusing. But tell us more about this webinar.
Yeah, thanks, Mark. Yeah, I'm really excited to talk about this. So we have a webinar coming up next week, which is talking about our latest webinar, talking about all the career steps, next steps in Brisbane. Sorry. So since 2020, our teams have interviewed around 11,500 job seekers, and out of them, we also had about 1,050 business leaders, who in turn represent around about 1 million employees across Australia, New Zealand, and the UK. From this data, as you know, we produce our annual employment and salary trends market report, which identifies workplace trends and expectations. In this report, it did reveal that 23% of the workforce, is passively looking for their next job opportunity in 2023. So with such a high percentage of people actively looking for that new role, it's more important than ever for people to stand out for their next potential employers. So this next week is hosted by none other than our director, Ben Wheeler, managing director, and a team of recruiting experts. So including myself, in this 1-hour webinar, we'll cover a range of things, including the most common challenges for job seekers, how to overcome them, and what to do to take your next step in your career. There will also be information on things like the current state of the Brisbane market, how to create a resume with impact, preparing for your next job interview, managing counter offers and resignation management, and then we'll have at the very end interactive question and answer.
Okay, that sounds really good. So there'll be clearly the P2P Live is across Australia. So I know that the net migration into Queensland, into Brisbane in the southeast is always a net positive. So people are trying to get into Queensland. So do you think the webinar will help out people who are considering a move to Brisbane?
Absolutely. It will definitely help clear the air, make things a little bit more, people understand the economy a little bit more and work out what kind of steps they need to take to be able to adjust and move into the Brisbane market for sure.
Yeah, you might think that applying for jobs is ubiquitous, that it's the same everywhere, but it's not really. And there are unique things that you need to consider for Queensland. So how is the market in Brisbane right now?
Yeah, look, it's good at the moment. Like, so as you know, Mark, coming into the tail end of the year, the silly season, it starts ramping up a little bit. Obviously, some areas do tend to back off, but look, we're definitely seeing a little bit more of a movement, that's for sure, coming into the silly season.
Definitely. Yeah, so Renagi's specialisation is supply chain, so there's a lot of movement of stock and warehouse movements in this right now, actually, and even some of our retail clients are all gearing up for the end of October sales. You're the sort of bloke that'd be buying lots of product online, wouldn't you, in these sales, Renagi?
Look, yes, not much hair product. I can say that, but I definitely do a little bit of buying online. That's for sure.
Excellent, good. All right, well, so do we have some details, Jacob, on this particular webinar? I think we
do. So, yep, next Thursday, 26th of October at 12:30 p.m.
Yeah, great, and we'll put a link so you can sign up to the particular webinar into the comments there. So jump on board there so you can find out how to secure your next opportunity in sunshine-soaked Queensland. Thanks, Renagi. Thanks for joining us this afternoon.
Thank you so much.
See you next time. Let's now check out the social media. So our poll for last week asked, in the last 12 months, has your employer implemented new sustainable practices? Well, 60% of you said, no, they haven't. Some, about 13.3% have said, well, they're improving, but there is good news. If you can see that at least a quarter of organisations have implemented some sort of sustainable practices in the last 12 months. So last week, we had a discussion with Carbon Invoice. People to People is now carbon neutral, planting trees for every dollar that is spent with us. So that's part of what we can do as a service-based company. But a quarter of all companies are actually doing something. We'll put a link actually to that short discussion that we had with Carbon Invoice last week in the comments. But yeah, an interesting result that a quarter of all companies are actually doing something about sustainability. Here's this week's question. And this week's question is, if you were considering a new opportunity, when would you begin your job search? Would you do it right now before Christmas, in the next 9 weeks that we've got before working weeks before Christmas hits us? Or you thought, you know what, I'm going to enjoy the silly season. We'll wait and apply for the new role in the new year. Let us know. Hashtag P2P Australia Live. You can get us on all of the socials there, but you can vote on LinkedIn and on X. So we really appreciate your opinion and we'll give you the results of that next week. That's it, everybody. Thanks for joining us for P2P Live here at 12:30 every Friday. We'll see you again next week.